Jeff Howard here at FixMyKite.com, and we want to show you how to repair a bladder from either a tear or a rip or a cut that you might get in your leading edge once you get that bladder out of your kite. And we're going to show you the process of doing so, and it's a very easy process. Once you pull your bladder out and you get to see and looking at that bladder, it's not a big deal. Just making sure you do the processes, you can get it repaired, get it back in your kite, and get yourself back on the water. So down here what I have is I have a bladder sample, which is a PU bladder, which is what's in every kite out there in the market. And I've got some patches of tear aid. Now tear aid is the #1 repair material for any of the kite bladders in a PU, and it's type A that you want to get a hold of. We sell it by the foot in different sizes. You can get 6 inches, foot, or more, depending on how big a repair you actually want to try to repair. Now, we also have a Fix My Kite emergency patch kit. This is only $4.99, and it has some pretty good little patches in here which can fix most of the repairs that you might have on your bladder. So what I've got my marker here, and what I'm going to show you, it's kind of hard to see, so I'm going to make sure that I draw around the area to kind of give you an idea of how far out you want to make sure your repair goes when you do it on a bladder. So here on the bladder I have a very small cut. This is usually done by a shell or something that might have went through your leading edges. This is probably about, I'm guessing, about 1 inch to 1.5 inches long, and I want to show you how to do the repair on that. We also have a blowout, a little dimple type blowout. This is kind of like a bubble you get from a twist in your kite or something like that. So take your tear aid. I'm going to do the straight repair first. I have a pair of scissors here ready to cut. I also have an alcohol pad that I'm going to be cleaning the area and make sure it doesn't have any residue on there. So in doing so, I'm going to draw a picture around where I would tell you how big of a patch you really want to try to get within. There's probably about 1 inch around all edges of your repair area. So in doing so, let me get my tear aid patch, and you can see it's probably pretty much wide enough. I'm going to cut this patch almost in half, around the corner so there's no sharp edges. To flip up. Check my area where I'm going to be laying it down. Now I'll take my alcohol pad, get a little bit of alcohol on here. I also have a little cloth to kind of dry to make sure there's no residue of the alcohol. Once this is all dry, the whole key to tear aid is if you touch this stuff, you can tell how sticky it is. It's pretty amazing how well this stuff will stick. Fold your paper back and get it halfway so you can kind of control it. Once you get this flipped up, you have a good control area. Lay it out flat. Start at one end. Begin pressing down. Don't try to stretch the material. Make sure it just lays down nice and smooth. Once down, rub it. Now the longer the tear aid sits on here, give it a good 10-15 minutes. It kind of bonds and the adhesive starts to grab a hold of that PU. But right away you can tell that this stuff is going to stick on here, and it's dang sure not going to come undone. Now we're going to go down and try to do the other end. Now when you get on one like this, you want to make sure that when you cut your patch in your area, you want to make sure you get a good flat area around it. So if we were going to do a patch, I'd try to at least get, again, 1 inch around outside of the stretched area. Minimum of 1/2 inch, but you definitely want to get somewhere around that inch the best you can. So in repairing this one, again, I'm going to take a square patch. This is a 3 inches wide, and this is comes in 6 inches a foot or whatever. And I've cut a patch that's I'm going to guess probably about 3 by 3. Perfect sizing. Simply take the area around the corners, just so you have, it doesn't want to flip up that way and roll up. If when you go to put your bladder back in your kite, those can kind of roll up. Take my alcohol pad, get it good and clean, and take my paper towel, clean off the residue area, make sure there's no residue. And again, if you have a friend, get them to hold this out a little bit like that, and it'll kind of help you in placement of your patch. We've done a few around here. We'll see if I can do it by myself. Again, peeling it back, getting control of it by the paper, such as that. Once you get it folded over, it'll hold itself out. Stick it down smoothly. Now if you have a big area, open area toward the other side of the bladder, such as it's completely blown out, so the material, the tear aid actually might touch the opposite side, the simple way, easy doing this, is right before you lay your patch down, take your finger, put a little spit on it, and get the other side wet. And then once you lay your patch down like this, it will undo from the opposite side and it will not stay hooked up inside of there. So once you lay your patch down, give it a good solid push down. The whole idea is do not have a wrinkle passing from your patched area. You can see the stretched area here. I'm not sure if you can see that, but the bladder itself was stretched and it just kind of wads up underneath here. But you do not want a fold extending out to the edge. If you don't, this bladder is basically like brand new, ready to go. Pump it up, install it in your kite, and you're ready to go. That's Jeff Howard here at FixMyKite.com to show you how to keep yourself on the water, patch those kites, keep riding. Thanks very much.